Hi, it's me. I haven't really told you everything about myself. My mother was a drunk, and my father was a heroin addict. The things I experienced there, I wouldn't wish on anyone.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the teaser trailer for Lion Killer film. You guys can go ahead and support the movie by checking it out anywhere on social media. Just look up Lion Killer film. And before we continue with the podcast, we want to give a quick shout out to all of our sponsors. Check out Choke Aloha. Head over to chokealoha.com. Use the promo code Jiu-Jitsu Radio and you'll get 20% off your entire order. Check out Jiu-Jitsu Soap Co. Use the promo code JJRadio at jujitsusoapco.com and you'll get 10% off your entire order. And then check out giraffechoke.com and use the promo code JJRadio there too, and you'll get 25% off your entire order of $99 or more. And as always, check out our good friends over at Nomad Surf Shop. If you head over to Nomad Surf down here in South Florida in person, you let them know we sent you, you'll get 10% off your entire order or your purchase. But you can always check them out online at nomadsurf1968.com. And as always, if you want to support the podcast, just go ahead and check us out on Instagram at Jiu-Jitsu Radio. You can always follow me at Sonder Marketing, and you can follow Shawn at Gorilla Boy BJJ. Now, without further ado, I want to go ahead and introduce our friend, Derrick Fury, producer of the film Lion Killer.
You kidding me, boss?
Here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence, and nobody can hang with my stuff.
Get stealing, woo, wheeling, dealing, limousine right, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Jiu-Jitsu Radio. Today we have a special guest, someone that I've been wanting to get on the podcast now for quite some time. We've been talking back and forth, and he's been working diligently to get everything going for his project. His name is Derrick Fury. He is the writer, director, and editor of the feature film Lion Killer. Before he was a filmmaker, he was actually in the performing hip hop and releasing music in Japan, Korea, and Poland. So he's a fellow music entrepreneur like myself, and he's actually got some skin in the game when it comes to MMA. Judge, match made, promoted for MMA fights for what would become Legacy FC. 2 award-winning short films, Modern Issues, Ne'er-Do-Wells, and this movie that we're going to be talking about today is his first feature film, the jiu-jitsu based movie. It looks amazing. From the little bit that I saw, the movie is called Lion Killer. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Derrick Fury.
What up, guys? What up?
Derrick, thanks for doing this, man. Like I said, I apologize for any kind of issues. We're having a little bit of a wonky problem with the echo in our headphones, but everything else is coming out fine. So I haven't given Shawn too much info on the movie. Can you tell us what the movie Lion Killer is, what it's about, and how you get started with this whole project?
Well, Lion Killer basically is a story of a struggling Brazilian jiu-jitsu gym owner who falls in love with a beautiful young woman who has a past of domestic abuse. And ultimately, it's about 2 hurting and broken people trying to learn how to put their own baggage aside and fall in love. And all that is set under the backdrop of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu community and culture. So, you know, it's a community and culture that I've been connected with since '05. So, you know, it's the one I know the best. And it's definitely a labor of love. So
How long did it take you to get the movie from the script to production?
you mean like from like
Start to finish, yeah.
from a blank page to a locked picture?
Yeah.
Oh man, probably 3 to 4 years. So
Wow.
let's say a good 3.5 years. When you commit to do a feature film, you're in it for the long haul. And it's like jiu-jitsu. You start jiu-jitsu as a white belt with hopes of becoming a black belt 10, 12 years down the road. You know, it's kind of like that with movies. You have to be all in. So yeah.
So what gave you the inspiration of using jiu-jitsu kind of as like a base for telling the story?
Well, I mean, it's a community that I'm most in tune with, that I'm most connected with. So when you go to do an independent feature film and you say, okay, we're shooting this on a limited budget, you really have to think, okay, what can I bring the most authenticity to? What universe, what world do I occupy that I know so well? I mean, we've all seen movies where a guy's supposed to be a guitar player and all they do is close-ups of his hands on the guitar and it's a stand-in.
Yeah.
And it just looks fake, right? So I don't want that, with any of the movies I make. So you really got to come at it from aspect, what universe, what world do I know so well that I can just bring total authenticity to, plus all the people that I know, the friends that I have. I wouldn't even call them favors because, I mean, these are friends of mine, but it's a community where I know people will say, sure, you can come shoot here. Oh, you need some gis? Here are some gis. It's a community that I knew would come together to help make the movie happen.
Yeah.
And, so ultimately, that was the only way I could tell the story was through jiu-jitsu.
So the two main actors, you have Regina Ting Chen, and she actually got Best Texas Actress, right?
Well, she's nominated.
Oh, nice.
So we're nominated for we're going to have our world premiere screening at the Austin Revolution Film Festival September 6th. And she's nominated for Best Texas Actress, and I couldn't be happier for her. And we have several other nominations. It's kind of blew me away. I thought maybe we get nominated for this or that, but it seemed like the festival really enjoyed the film, and they nominated for 6 awards.
So how do you get nominated before the movie even came out?
Well, so if you do a film festival, you submit the movie, so they've seen it. So you submit the movie months in advance. Actually, I didn't, because I actually had a locked picture probably the day before they closed submissions. So you submit it to them, and they look at it, and they have a team of judges, and so I guess they liked it.
That's good, man. That's what I was wondering. It's like, man, you got 6 nominations already, and the movie's not even out for the public.
Yeah, and I'll be working diligently to try to get it out to the public. But so that'll be our world premiere September 6th in Austin, Texas, at the Austin Revolution Film Festival. Any jiu-jitsu people in Austin, please try to come out. Please try to get tickets. Go to their website, Austin Revolution Film Festival. Check out our block. I believe it's the You're the Best block on September 6th around 8:30 p.m., I believe. And I would just really love the support of the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu community to come out. But yeah, so that's going to be our world premiere. After that, we'll probably have a limited festival run and then try to bring it to people's homes via streaming. So that's the plan,
Right. So you're thinking it's something that you could send out to Netflix, or would it be more independent, like online streaming?
Well, so you've got a couple things, you've got Netflix, which is like a subscription-based VOD service. They call it SVOD. Mm-hmm. And usually with like an independent film like mine, you want to kind of keep that for the last, because you want to try to monetize it and make some money up front, pay back whoever you need to pay back, and then sell it to or license it rather to like a Netflix, a Hulu, a thing, something like that. But probably before it even hits a Netflix or streaming service like that, hopefully it should be available. Hopefully we're planning on iTunes, Amazon, Amazon Prime, that kind of situation. So that's the plan. But, making a film, I'll keep going back. It's like jiu-jitsu. You have a match. You go in with a plan. The plan doesn't always work, so you have to kind of adjust on the fly. That's the great thing about jiu-jitsu. So
let me ask you,
we're adjusting as we go.
So I know that the big thing, at least in our community, has been the announcements for a couple of jiu-jitsu movies coming out. So you're technically one of the first ones really to come out, because those other movies aren't going to come out for a while. So you really get a head start. What'd you think when you started hearing that, all of a sudden there's some jiu-jitsu movies coming out?
I was happy. I'm like, man, if I believe that a high tide raises all ships. So if the public gets a peak in interest for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, that can only benefit me in some way. And of course, my film is a much smaller budget, but that doesn't mean the quality isn't the same. The performances aren't the same. And ultimately, my film, if you roll, you've been on the mats for quite some time, my movie feels like you're in a jiu-jitsu gym. It feels authentic, like hey, these guys just got off the mat rolling, or these guys are about to roll. So hopefully, the fact that Netflix is going to do something, and I think Nicolas Cage signed on to do a film called Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
Hey, hopefully that just brings a light on the Lion Killer, because we're not going to have the budget to compete with those guys. But what I can do is try to excite the jiu-jitsu community through like podcasts like this one, and just saying, hey, if you love jiu-jitsu, you're a fan of this podcast, please go check out Lion Killer, check out our Facebook, share us, and just try to do it the grassroots way, which is ultimately the jiu-jitsu way.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially for our community, I think stuff like that, people are definitely more excited to see it. As always, there's always going to be people that are going to talk shit like, oh, well, that guy doesn't really know jiu-jitsu, but you got some legit people in your movie.
Yeah. We've got, two guys that train at Gracie Baja, CJ Hancock, who recently got his black belt about 6 months ago. And he's competing, and he competed in MMA, and a lot of, Matt Meehan, who's our lead, he trains at Gracie Baja here in Houston. We've got like 4 or 5 Gracie Bajas here in Houston, but he does train here. What's up?
I was just gonna say, Derek. Sorry, man. I have a good buddy that trains at a Gracie Baja in Houston. He's an ex-pro wrestler. His name is Hassan, but he wrestled as MVP.
MVP? No, I don't know him. Well, I wonder where he trains at.
It's under the guy that was under Dracolino.
Okay,
it's a little late to try and get your homie in the movie now, bro.
Yeah, it's a little, no.
For the next week, try to throw in try to hook him up there.
Well, you say that, but he was, he's got star power, and he just got his purple belt a couple months ago.
Well, and that makes sense, because Dracolino's gym is kind of out there where Booker T has his wrestling promotion. So it would make sense that he kind of trains out there. I know the guy you're talking about. Dracolino has a few top guys, but I know the guy you're talking about.
Yeah, so he's in the area. So if you ever feel like making a movie again,
definitely. That's the thing about this. Hopefully next time we can come back bigger and better.
Hey, listen, if you need some comedic side gigs for the next one, we'll definitely fly out there for a couple of weeks and knock it out.
Well, I'll keep it in mind, man. I'll keep it in mind.
So listen. Granted, I'm nowhere near your level as far as like videography and film. I mean, I do a little bit as far as small little documentaries and shot stuff. One of the things that kind of really drew me in from the get-go is really kind of like your play with the lighting. From the little bit of the scenes that I've seen, is this kind of like the style that you wanted compared to the style of what you could pull off?
Well, yeah. Well, you bring up a good point. There's, when you make a independent feature film on the budget we made it, there's like, or even any film you make, I don't care what your budget is. There's what's in your head, then what you can afford to pull off. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but I will say, for what we had, we nailed it pretty close. I think the scenes, because the trailer I sent you, it's a high contrast lighting style we had for that scene, and that's because that's one of the more dramatic scenes in the film. Yeah. But yeah, that was mapped out and that was planned ahead of time, and I've got to thank my awesome camera department, and in particular not only the DP David Mejia and his first AC Vinny. What's his name, babe? Vinny what? Brasino. I can never remember his name because he's on Insta. He's just Dweeba Reno, so I can never remember Vinny's last name.
You almost got a Magalesh out of us.
Oh, right. Oh my God.
So how many people did you have all together in the crew?
Man, it was a small crew. So, but before we go into that, I want to give a shout out to the gaffer, the guy who really designed the lighting, which was Kevin Simmons. So, I'll really give a shout out to him because he really kind of, in conjunction with what I'm looking for, he really designed the lighting situation. But I mean, this is a small budget film. We had about, including myself, 8 crew members. Now that's super small.
That's slim.
Yeah, that's super slim. So you got to understand. So I wrote, directed, edited, but also on set, in addition to directing and acting in the film, I recorded all the audio for the film. So every person on set, really, as far as the crew goes, really had 3 or 4 jobs.
Yeah.
Whereas typically Hollywood's going to, piecemeal out. You do one thing, but, I mean, I come from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA gyms, man. You got to learn a little bit of everything, so it's just that mentality. And also, I mean, that's really the only way you can get it done on the budget that we had because, paying people to be on set we shot, over 20 days and, paying somebody $100 a day or $150 a day, you do that 5, 6, 7, 8 times. It's very expensive. So, when I went to school to learn how to do films, my goal always was to do the Robert Rodriguez style, which is do as many jobs as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And I only ended up in the film acting in the film because we had an actor drop out.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So, but it's kind of like, what was I thinking? I wrote a character who's my age, who knows jiu-jitsu, has a history in judo. It's just like I'm the only guy that can do that. So because it's actually, my history. So it's like, of course I would end up doing it, but so I forget what the question was, but
no, I mean, it was the lighting and stuff and everything that I brought up. So was it Kevin Sims, you said?
Yeah. Kevin Simmons. He's out in California now, but
listen, shout out to him, man, because like I said, from the little bit that I've done, like I said, that was the first thing that really caught on for my eye was just the play on the lighting and stuff like that. It was really dope. And considering that it is an indie movie, I was really kind of surprised at the quality of everything, because I think a lot of people don't understand what it takes to put something like that together. Everybody just thinks a movie is a movie. You're thinking the Avengers. So if it's not to that point, they're going to be like, oh, I'm not going to watch it. But they're missing out on some amazing kind of movies and stories that aren't going to be in a giant movie theater and that they can easily just go and watch online or just find out more about. So
stream and watch it from the comfort of your own home. You kind of hit on something, which is, when you make a feature film, people don't judge it by other feature films with your budget. People judge it by every movie that was ever made. Mm-hmm. So people are going to judge Lion Killer, next to E.T. and Citizen Kane. What I mean? How does it stand? But, ultimately I'm proud of what we did. And, I made a movie with a lot of heart that really shows a love and a passion for BJJ at the same time. And that was my goal, man. So there'll always be haters, but I'm proud of what my cast and my crew and everybody came together to do.
Yeah.
Derrick, if you were to like I'm picturing this almost Darren Aronofsky style, like with the wrestler.
Yeah.
Is it kind of along those lines? Not the story, but the style.
Kind of, yeah, because that style was very gritty and very realistic. So yeah, I never even thought of that film. There was other films that, when you get together with your crew and you want to give people references. So yeah, people reference other films or even art or comic books, whatever you can reference to give people a visual. And I never referenced that film. It's funny you say that, because now that you say that, the way they shot it was very kind of the way we shot this. And I know that's Aronofsky's kind of style, but it's very gritty, very kind of
almost
inner
documentary.
city. Almost, not really, but yeah, we'll do steady cam shots that kind of follow you along. And I know they did some of that stuff in there, but just the overall look and the color scheme, it was very gritty and felt like when he's living in the trailer park, it kind of feels like you're living in a trailer park.
Yeah.
My character's living in his BJJ gym. It kind of feels gritty, and it's an old school rundown kind of BJJ gym, that kind of reflects where he is emotionally and So yeah, there's a lot of if you're a fan of that film, you'd probably be a fan of this film.
So what was your inspiration point for the story in the movie? Since I know you're talking about the references, and I don't want you to reference other movies because this is your work, this is your thing, but what inspired the whole storyline altogether?
Well, as a writer, I think you're always just kind of like going through life, kind of just taking in experiences and kind of cataloging those experiences in your brain. So most of the things that have happened, or most of the things that are plot points in the film, or things I experienced or I witnessed friends experience. But basically, it's just going through life and being the type of person that some time goes by and you realize you've built walls, and it's hard to receive love. It's hard to express love and give love in return, and you've got to realize, hey, I need to take some of these walls down to be able to love and receive love in return. My good friend Vince Lichlighter, he did all the music for the film. He did the score, he did original songs, and one of the songs he wrote is a song called Sledge, which basically says, and it kind of ties the movie together, because it basically says that I've spent all my life building these walls, but I think it's time I'll take a sledgehammer and knock these walls down so that, we can connect and I can fall in love with you, speaking to Noel, the character. But
Right.
So it really kind of ties the theme together. And as a writer, it's kind of hard to be that transparent and that kind of open with the world. You're giving this thing out to the whole world, and the whole world's going to judge it. And they don't know your personal experiences. They don't know how hard you had to struggle to get over things. But it's the job of the writer, and then it was the job of me as the director, then the job as the editor to really be completely transparent with an audience and say, hey, I've had to do this myself. I've had to get over lost loves or the loss of someone special to me, a death, or whatever it may be, whatever the trauma is in my life. I've kind of used those as bricks to build a wall, but the wall's got to come down eventually. So
what went through your mind when you finally finished filming and you finally finished editing and you sat down and you watched it front to back in one sitting?
At that point, you've seen it like 400 times and like 400 different
the bits and pieces.
Assemblies. Yeah, exactly. But we had a cut in the beginning, and then I recut it pretty significantly. So this recent cut, sat down with my wife, who's also my co-producer, and we watched it from front to back. And, you definitely, because you have to understand that what we went through to make the film. So, we went through Hurricane Harvey, and we lost everything, right, a week before we were supposed to do our crowdfunding. So, we had to move into a 1-bedroom apartment with our 2 dogs and 2 cats and no internet connection and run a successful crowdfunding campaign. And then we had to shoot the film and go through the trials and tribulations of that and casting and just everything. It's a lot of stress, a lot of struggle. Along the way it's a lot like trying to get a black belt. Along the way, you've got 500 reasons to quit, but we just stayed the course. So by the time we got to the point where we're watching the film, it's like this huge sense of satisfaction, of accomplishment, that I'm, like I said, I'm very proud of everybody that came together to do it, but it's definitely a satisfying experience. I'm not a BJJ black belt yet, but I can imagine it'd be the same thing as the moment they tie that black belt around your waist.
It's okay. Did you cry? Did you cry when you saw the final movie?
No, man. All my tears were spent on set.
Yeah.
when
let
we
me ask
were
you,
shooting.
Since your wife was your co-producer, and not that I'm trying to start any fights here, but did you guys end up having disagreements on where you wanted the cuts to be or how you wanted to point out, where it's like, well, I think we should go this way. No, I think we should do it that way.
Not during the editing, probably during production. And she's really good with seeing mistakes and errors in continuity. And as a director, you're constantly trying to push forward. You're trying to get the best performance you can, and you're under the gun for time, and you're just trying to get the scene as best you can because you're burning daylight. And literally sometimes you're losing daylight. And she has a real eye for detail with, hey, that cup wasn't there. We need to do this scene again, and then that's where conflict comes because, I'm thinking we've got to get to the next shot.
Yeah. Or like
it's got,
especially if you're looking for that golden hour kind of lighting, or you're doing.
Oh,
this,
yeah. A lot of it was.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A lot of it was like we even mapped it out. A lot of it was like, okay, it's this time of year. Golden hour hits from this time to this time. We've got to get this shot. And then, the tripod broke, and it takes an extra 10 minutes to set something up, and you're literally losing golden hours. So yeah, there was a lot of that.
Just for people that don't know, as far as what golden hour is, it's this magical time and the point of the day where that natural lighting of the sun is just hitting just right. You're in the perfect position, the perfect spot, literally on the planet at that time where everything works out perfect. And obviously, depending on your shot, and especially the continuity too, you only have maybe anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour tops of getting something.
Yeah, I mean, they call it golden hour. Sure doesn't seem like it's an hour.
Yeah.
It seems like it's like 30 minutes. At least that was my experience. But it's, like I said, it's a lot of stress when you're on set. But yeah, you're definitely losing golden hour quick. So, but it's the soft, beautiful golden light that you'll see in a lot of movies. So, I
actually appreciate people that have that eye for continuity, because that's always one of the things that I pick apart whenever I see a movie. And even when Game of Thrones, there was the big issue with Game of Thrones where there was the Starbucks cup on the table. That shit drives me nuts, man. Oh, it drives me crazy.
Well, that was one of the good things about seeing the movie so many times, because literally I watched it again the other day, and I noticed an error in continuity, and I was like, okay, I've got to take that out. So yeah, literally, the movie's always in a state of flux. So,
what are you gonna say, Shawn?
Well, I was gonna say, you want to find what to laugh, but do you know where I've figured out, or not figured out, but heard about the golden hour? Did you ever see the movie Reign of Fire?
Maybe
with the dragons?
The dragon movie. Yeah.
They talked about the golden hour, and that's the only time that dragons couldn't see well, was the golden hour.
Really? That's the reference you're going to pull out right now?
We're talking movies, bro.
That's a deep reference, man. That's pretty good.
That's like you're pulling out like a Pink Floyd deep cut there or something, man.
What I know.
You want to know a good example for the golden hour kind of was the movie Hero, the Jet Li movie. Mm-hmm. So there's a scene. Is it that? I forget if it's that movie or it's Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. There's a part where they have a fight scene.
At least I know what I'm talking about.
Oh, no, there's a fight scene in a lake, where the lake is like perfectly flat. There's not an ounce of just breeze coming through. And they could only shoot it 1 hour a day at a specific time of the year. And it's probably one of the most beautiful scenes for a fight scene you've ever seen. I want to say it was Crouching Tiger.
Hero was one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen. Yeah. Beautifully shot.
I believe Yo-Yo Ma did the score for that, I believe.
Yeah. No, that's one of the great movies for sure. So you're going through this whole process. It took you 3 to 4 years, and now you're in the push. And people don't really understand the marketing push. Like, you did the creative work, and now you got to do the business work. What's the hardest thing that you're finding right now, considering the fact that jiu-jitsu is a niche, and you're trying to connect the two together? What's been your hardest hurdle?
Well, right now, just getting to this point, and you guys tell me what you think, but my personal feeling as far as marketing the film is it is a niche film, but you guys tell me if I'm wrong. I believe every person in the world who does jiu-jitsu or has done jiu-jitsu for any significant amount of time will watch this movie. Would you guys agree or disagree?
Sure.
Just because it's about jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, for sure.
Am I
That
right?
alone gives you that base of viewership
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, and just the community, like I said, we don't have a lot of films about it, a lot of films that feel authentic, that come from a jiu-jitsu perspective. So I feel like, if I can get the word out, and that's really probably the biggest thing right now, is connecting with people like you and saying, hey, I've got a movie I feel is a really good movie. It's a jiu-jitsu movie. Give me some time to promote it. And after that, it's just reaching out to the fans. And when I say fans, I mean the fans of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the people, the practitioners, but also, the moms and dads that bring their kids to Jiu-Jitsu who may not do it. People who are connected with the sport and love Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm just trying to excite them and say, hey, here's a movie that comes, we didn't shoot a lot of money, but we shot it with a lot of heart and a lot of love. Please follow us on social media, and when it comes out, please support us by giving us a watch. So right now it's just getting the word out, because I believe once the word is out, I believe people will watch it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, like I said, from the little bit that I've seen and that you and I talked about and the message of the movie, I think there's much deeper to it than just the fact that it involves jiu-jitsu, especially considering the subject. I mean, I know for sure that there's a lot of people that do jiu-jitsu that might be victims of abuse, that might have those like issues of trying to open up.
Yeah.
But there's also people that might be victims that need jiu-jitsu and they don't know yet, and they might be timid about it because of the physicality and what it takes to be in it. So I think that there's probably going to be a deeper connection for some people, obviously more than others, and that's usually the case with movies. But the fact that you are putting those two subjects together is definitely not easy.
Yeah, and to speak to that, a friend of mine, who she's a blue belt here in Houston, and she has a history of, she's a domestic abuse survivor, and we have her in the movie. She's, she tells her story within, the confines of a group setting, but she's actually, she's not an actress. She's actually a person who's passionate about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and has, survived a domestic abuse situation, and has gone back and worked with women to get them out of those situations. So yeah, if I could also connect with people on that level, I'm all for it, because ultimately, if the film touches people in any way, especially if it helps them, in any way, if they're in a domestic abuse situation, I'm all for it. So definitely.
Is there something that you think, I mean, obviously the situation that you guys went through during the crowdfunding process and the hurricane and everything like that, but is there something that you feel you really learned about yourself individually or even as a couple, because you two work so close together on it, that you feel you learn about yourself?
It's one of those things, you don't want to say anything and sound too, you don't want to sound, too prideful or anything. But honestly, when I came away from it, I remember having a feeling, because like I said, I mean, it's literally the hardest thing I've ever done. And along the way, there was 50, 60, 100 excuses, legitimate excuses to stop. But we persevered. So when I came away from it, honestly felt like I could do anything. I had that feeling like, if I can do this, if I can accomplish this, I could do anything. There's really no more boundaries for me anymore. No more limits. I don't know if you saw, what's that last Bruce Lee movie?
The
Game of Death?
Game of Death, yeah.
No, the new one that's about him. And,
the Quentin Tarantino one?
No, they came out with one like a year ago where it's about him.
Where he fights
Wong Jack Man.
Yeah, and then it's like there's like a big fight scene in like a warehouse.
Yeah. Well, there's a part in it where he asked, Wong Jack Man asks him, do you see your limits? And Bruce Lee says, what limits?
Yeah.
So I came away from it with that feeling. Now, if I can sustain that feeling, that's the question. But you come away from something that's so hard. It was called Birth of the Dragon. My wife just passed me the Blu-ray we own. Thanks, man. But I came away from that kind of feeling like that, like what limits, So I just challenge anybody. I mean, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a great place to learn that lesson also, because it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is very mentally challenging, you know.
Yeah.
And if you can get to a purple belt, a brown belt, and a black belt, wow, you know, you really, you know, I really feel like setting those hurdles early on and learning to overcome them, you know, it's that's why I love teaching kids, man, because, you know, you start seeing them do things that, you know, they just said 3 weeks ago they couldn't do. You know, it's very fulfilling. So,
and yeah,
that's the lesson I learned.
That's the thing that people should know too, is that you practice and you actually teach as well.
Yeah. Like I said, you know, I've been in it since 2005. Still haven't gotten a black belt, but, you know, I teach where we shot the movie, actually. So it's a Rock Solid Martial Arts in Katy, Texas, and a buddy of mine. I wasn't teaching at the time, but a buddy of mine, you know, he owned a gym, and he just said, "Here, man, you know, here's the key. I made a key for you. Just when we're not shooting, shoot." You know, so we shot there, and since then I've started teaching over there, and we've got a core group, and it's a lot of fun. So, and it's like the film. It's very rewarding. You know, so yeah, this film, it's not. I didn't pick a subject matter because I thought Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was trending. You know what I mean? This is definitely something I've been involved with pretty heavy on for quite a while, and love dearly. So hopefully you can see that in the film.
What just as a, I'm sorry, I'm dealing with this.
The echo.
The echo is killing me.
Yeah.
As a, you know, just an interest note. Well, what has held you back from getting that black belt?
Actually, you know, like, you know, I started, you know, early, you know, a little later when I was 30, and, you know, there's a lot of things, but basically it's a little different when you start, you know, and you're 30 years old. So since then, you know, I was in when the economy crashed, the home marketing crash here in Houston. I was working in a home building, was laid off, went back to school, did the whole, so just a lot of life stuff. But other than that, man, you know, like I said, probably me. And, you know, and now I feel like there are no limits. So there's no excuses anymore, you know?
Because I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I started when I was 33.
Yeah, I started at 30.
And I got my black
now you're
belt
a red belt
in 2014.
And now he's a coral belt. You hear him, everybody. He just wanted to make it sound bad.
He's just old, that's all.
No, if I could do it, you could do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree, man. And congratulations, you son of. I mean, congratulations, dude.
Yeah, well, and what I think it was just one of those things. And Alex is going to make fun of me for this because
I'm setting it up right now. Go ahead.
So the only reason I believe I was promoted is because I won the Worlds at 2014, Old Man Worlds. I think I would have been a brown belt for another year.
Yeah,
but at the same time, you know, it was just making it a priority. And I think you know, with your love of this, showing your love and putting it on the screen, this should be something that happens no problem.
Yeah. So from your mouth to God's ears, man.
Well, it's funny because
I definitely need some more mat time and tone some, and you know,
that's all of us,
tone some stuff up. But yeah,
but that's kind of the thing that kind of really drew me in when we started talking, was the fact that, like, I could tell that this was a legitimate labor of love, for one, and I've always been someone that I'd like to support people that are really going after for what they want. And obviously, as someone who does video, and like I when I was a kid, one of the first things that I wanted to do was to be a movie producer. So it's like, I definitely don't think I would have the capability of doing what you did with this. So to see that inspired me, but then to see the difference with all the talk that's going on now about the different jiu-jitsu movies, I kind of gave me even more push of supporting you, because again, I can tell that it's a labor of love compared to the other ones are just about trending, just because, well, the Narcos director is going to be doing this one, and I know it's just kind of really playing it up because with the Brazilians and stuff. And then Nicolas Cage.
I wonder if he trains. You think maybe he trains? I don't know.
I don't know if he trains, but I know that the Gracies have deep connections now in Hollywood. So I know that that connection really kind of put it in. But even then, it's really, you go on the mats. You're not just a producer that are friends with someone who goes and trains or goes and watches the UFC. So And then the Nicolas Cage movie just sounds like bullshit to me, but obviously it's going to be something that we watch either way. Because like you said, it's got jiu-jitsu in it. I mean, Shawn and I, we did one episode where we spent, like 20 minutes talking about the one armbar that was in, was it not Pacific Rim? No.
No, well, was it that, or were we talking the first
one.
Saw it, which was Lethal Weapon?
No. Well,
we
talked
the
about
triangle.
The
triangle in Lethal Weapon. Yeah,
we talked about that too. But in Pacific Rim was the first one, right? The one with the monster movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a fight scene in a hallway, and the guy goes for like a flying armbar. It's like, okay. So it's to see something completely dedicated to jiu-jitsu, but it's not about the Karate Kid kind of story where he's got to go to the tournament. It's like
Yeah.
I think it's cool, and I dig that, and I like indie movies and stuff. So it definitely drew me in. What out of anything do you want people to really get out of the movie?
Really, I want people, if anything, to get hope. It's about, like I said, it's about two people that are pretty broken that realize, they are messed up but they can overcome, So if there's anything out there that I hope they ultimately get from it is wherever your situation is, there's hope for you. You're not over yet. It ain't over for you. How many matches have we seen? Especially like Kron all the time I watch his matches and he would be down back in the old brown belt days, and you would see Kron come out and like armbar somebody that was just up on him in like 10 points or something, and just, last 5 seconds, just, submit them. So whatever situation you're in, there's hope and it's not over. Things can change and you can affect change yourself. And then there's other times that, God will bring people in your life that, to give you a kick in the pants. So, and that was kind of the character I play, the guy who does the kicking in the pants. So,
so let me ask you then, Matthew Meehan is your lead, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's two leads. So yeah, co-lead.
So the co-lead. So did you guys at any point have the conversation where it's like, listen, once this movie comes out, there's going to be people critiquing your jiu-jitsu in a movie. Are you mentally prepared for it?
I did tell him that. No, I did tell him that. And, I need to, because I know he also teaches kickboxing and whatnot, but, I need to double check. I'm like, dude, how's your rolling been? Because
you've been drilling?
There's, exactly, so. But I did tell him that because I know, our community, man. You know how it is.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I would be the first one. I'm like, that doesn't seem legit. Yeah. You could have done that better.
Yeah, and like I said, nobody really judges it. We're going to be judged with the movie that had, 30 days, or The Matrix, they had 6 months of kung fu training, whereas we, it's kind of like, hey, this is my general idea, what we want to do. Then CJ would add his thing in and kind of like oversee it,
Bringing the stunt double.
Yeah, there was no stunt doubles on this one. I'll definitely go on record as saying all the jiu-jitsu you see in this movie is legitimate jiu-jitsu that was done by the actors. But also, but I don't want to give people a false impression that this movie is just going to be 5-6 scenes of people rolling hardcore, choreographed rolling scenes. It's not that either. It's a love story, and it's a story about overcoming. And then, it's set in jiu-jitsu, the jiu-jitsu community. And ultimately there are, climactic scenes, and there's other scenes where people roll, and there's, but all the
everything I've read is people say, don't read the reviews. That's what big actors and big directors, they don't read the reviews. Yeah. Because it does nothing for you. It does nothing for you.
Well, yeah, especially, I'm the kind of person that will only remember the bad review.
Yeah. That'll dig into you, especially because you're an artist. So you can be like, this dumb piece of crap, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah, and Steven Spielberg could have wrote a glowing review, and I'll just remember Joe Schmo from Des Moines, Iowa, who didn't like it.
Oh man, that would drive me crazy. Like, I'm gonna write this piece of shit back right now. Like, hey, dumbass,
that's what do you want, though?
I know
people do it, and they go down that wormhole, and it just at the end you're like, what the heck?
Yeah, I mean, but there will be times like the thing that I always say is that I don't trust anybody's opinion on movies. Like when you should go see
It's
this.
true.
That shut up, you don't know. I'm not gonna watch that piece of shit movie. I know if a movie's gonna be a piece of crap, I'm watching it because I want to watch it. If the movie's good, I'm gonna watch it. But when someone tells me, "Oh, go watch this and that and the other," no, please don't tell me.
That's true for everything except Lion Killer.
Yeah,
Everyone should check that.
again. And Shawn and I talk about movies all the time, and it's one of those things that we always say to go watch a movie. And it's like I said, the trailer and what you show me and the bits and pieces I saw is really intriguing. And even the fact, like you said, is that it's not a jiu-jitsu movie. You're not going to sit there and watch techniques over and over again. It's an actual storyline.
Yeah.
No, I'm really anxious to see it, man. And honestly, if it was doable, I would say that we'd head out there for the premiere. Actually, so what? It's September 6th, you said?
Yeah, September 6th in Austin, Texas, at the Austin Revolution Film Festival. You guys can check it out at their website. I believe it's austinrevolutionfilmfestival.com.
I just need an excuse
Google
to go back to Austin, man. I love Austin.
Oh, dude, man, it's a fun town. I'm from Houston, but Austin is a fun town, man. 6th Street and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not as hot as Houston, so it's a fun town. And this festival, man, is really fun. If you're looking for a good time, or any listeners are looking for a good time, you want to see some movies, hang out with some cool people, have a few drinks, Austin Revolution Film Festival is the one for you. They're ranked on by a few magazines and a few websites as the number one film festival worth the money in the country. So
I believe it.
They put on a real good show and great time, bunch of cool people. So our screens, like I said, September 6th around 8:30. I believe it's at the You're the Best block, which is kind of like a throwback to Karate Kid.
Yeah.
But, if anybody wants to come, please come, especially the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu community. I would love nothing more than to pack that place out and just show everybody, the strength of our community. So
I would love to see just people show up in gis. Just the entire
I was thinking of telling people come in. That is awesome. What about gi bottoms and your gym t-shirt or something?
That'd be cool.
Know. I guarantee you people show up with their belts though, no matter what, even if it's a suit.
I would offer if you show. Are you showing it for free or are you charging for the premiere?
You got to get tickets.
Well, for the screening, you go on there. They sell tickets. I believe you could buy just one screening, or you could buy the day pass, or you could buy whatever, a week pass, however you want to do. But yeah, you want to pay via their website. Get your ticket through that website.
You want to go to Austin?
I'd love to go to Austin. I've been hearing a lot of good things about
Austin. Is amazing. I love that city. Yeah, no, I loved it. I mean, I've been there once, and it was when I was on tour, and man, I still remember Continental Club is great, and the food was amazing too.
But I got an idea, Derek. You should push back the premiere till like December, so it's nice and cool for our visit.
Let me go ahead. The project you've been working on for 4 years, I wonder if we'll push it back another 6 months.
What's another couple months?
Fucking dick.
You could deal with the heat, man. You could deal with the heat, man.
Yeah, don't look. This guy who wears shorts and t-shirts everywhere. He can handle the heat. He's fine.
Oh yeah, you'll fit in Austin, man. The whole keep Austin weird thing. They, it's all super, super hip, super hipster, super, tattoos and Jiu-Jitsu people fit right in,
So have you reached out to all the local academies at least to try and promote it more?
That's on my to-do list, but out there especially. So yeah, that's I have that written down. That's one of the things. I actually need to start doing that since we're about a month away now. Yeah. I want to send the local academy some posters and just ask them to come out, so.
And listen, man, anything we can do to help. I mean, I'd love to push as much as I can. And like I said, definitely push this podcast out even more to really drive in the attention to this, because I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, man, you could come down there and I'm sure if we got some people out there, we could set up and you could do some podcasts on the fly, dude. It'd be awesome.
It'd be fun. Well, we'll get you up on there again. If anything, it'd be great to have you in a podcast on the premiere. So do you...
Yeah.
do you think are you gonna get like maybe like a speech to present the movie, or they just roll it and you're gonna be sitting in the crowd?
Well, yeah, it's a block. So I think we're the feature film on the block. So I think they have like 3 short films ahead of us, and of course it's all like I believe martial arts related films. And so generally the movies will play, and then they'll have the filmmakers come up all together at the end, and you know, the crowd can ask questions, and you know, so this is great practice for me. Yeah.
That's good, man. Well, listen, anything that we can do to help you in the next month before the premiere, please don't hesitate to reach out. So we want to actually put the small trailer that you sent me. If people want more information in the meantime, how can they check out the movie?
Like just to connect on social, you can go to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Everything's at Lion Killer Film. So that's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Lion Killer Film. Please follow us, share, retweet, do all that stuff. Please, you know, if you're passionate about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and you'd like to see a movie like this get noticed, you know, just hit us up on social media at those spots and you know, help us out.
No, and we're definitely gonna slightly leak a little bit of the trailer that you sent me to check out. And so if everybody wants to check out Lion Killer Film, please give him a follow, hit up Derrick. Anything that we can do to really spread the word and help someone get their dream out there, especially in the jiu-jitsu community, please don't hesitate to reach out there. We're going to be posting up the video so you guys can check out the trailer. I know, Derrick, you're going to have a couple other little teasers and more behind-the-scenes stuff leading up to the release, right?
Absolutely. And I just pulled it up on the it's austinrevolution.com. Our block is the You're the Best block. On September 6th, the time is 8:30 p.m. So if you're in and around the Austin area, or you just want to drive out and have some fun at a great film festival, come out and check us out.
No, definitely, and I'm serious. I'm definitely gonna look into heading out there. It'd be cool to get a reason to go back to Austin and then come out and support if possible too. If not, either way, we're definitely gonna do anything we can to help you promote the movie, man. And anytime you ever need anything, don't hesitate to reach out.
Hey, I appreciate you guys very much, man. Thanks for all the help, man, and all the best, man. Hopefully I'll see you in Austin.
No, for sure. I hope so. And so everybody make sure you go support Lion Killer by our friend here, Derrick Fury. For sure, we're going to get you back on the podcast. Maybe we'll have to wait until the movie comes out because I know you're going to be busy, but for sure, we're going to get you back on here. I'm going to be curious to see all the amazing stuff that happens once the movie releases on September 6th. And then we could talk about how people can stream it if they didn't get to come out to Austin.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Derrick, thank you very much for doing this, brother. I appreciate it. I wish you nothing but success, man. I'm really anxious and stoked to see this movie once it comes out, and whatever we can do to help to push your dream, bro.
Appreciate you guys.
All right. Take care, brother. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Derrick, you got any last messages for all the fans?
Just go to social. Go to social. Hit us up.
Awesome, man. And we'll post it up on
God bless.
Thanks, man. No, we'll post everything up on the Instagram too. We'll tag you on everything so you guys can check it out. Check it out on YouTube too. There'll be descriptions at the bottom, and we'll see you on the next time, Derrick. We'll talk soon.
God bless, guys.
Take care, brother.
Good one, man.
You kidding me, boss?
Here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence, and nobody can hang with my stuff.
Get stealing, woo, wheeling, dealing, limousine right, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time